Greetings, Patrick here, Have Cheetah Will View. And it's Tuesday. If it's Tuesday, that can only be one thing. It must be Library Day. And it is. Um, so, um, so last week we knew that the library they put up a notice saying that they weren't going to be accepting any donations for a small period of time. I think they were just cleaning it out, or I don't know what they were doing, but they're basically had shut off the donations for the next 7 days. So I almost didn't go, but I had to because I had to get gas for the car. So might as well kill two birds, one stone. But I didn't expect to get anything there at all today, and quite honestly, I wasn't disappointed in that respect because there wasn't. Um, in fact, there was a lot of holes in the on the shelves, and people have mentioned, well, maybe it was the bag sale, but I'm not really feeling that either. Um, I think that some of the books got pulled off because now they're going to start selling stuff online. Um, we all talked about that today, so we're gonna go ahead and address that issue next week because some of us weren't very happy. In fact, our ringleader, the one I expected to be there to lead the charge, didn't show up. But I'm sure she will next week, and I'm sure it'll be very entertaining. But anyway, business as usual. There wasn't anything there. I got one really cool item, and then I got a couple of books. So I did that. I'll show you what I got, and then I have an added bonus. So don't go anywhere. We do got stuff to look at. So a couple of books I got. I got a couple of biographies, autobiography. Well, one biography, one autobiography. I don't know why I have not read this book up to this point. I know the story very well, um, but I got a copy of Fair Game by Valerie Plum Wilson. If you didn't know who she was a CIA station chief who was exposed by Dick Cheney publicly as a spy and caused who knows how many deaths. Exposed her in the embassy. Everybody knew she was a spy. He exposed her deliberately, um, and um, and that caused, like I said, don't we never figured out how many people died because of this. If you guys know anything about spycraft, how it works, much like law enforcement, like if a police officer, a plainclothes police officer, has his group of contacts in a city that he goes to for information, because they can go where he can't. Well, same thing goes for spies. They develop networks, and when she was exposed as a spy, her whole network got rolled up, just about. So we don't know how many people. Like I said, we don't know how many people died. It wasn't the first time the Republicans have betrayed us. So this is a great book. I've heard nothing but great things about it. So I'm looking forward to reading that. All right. Next, I got a book from a fascinating general, one of the most important generals in United States military history. Definitely one of the bigger ones in World War II, and that's General Omar Bradley's book. And look at this, boys and girls. This is going to be absolutely crazy big. It's 750 pages, but I'm looking forward to it. So General Omar Bradley, you might remember him. He served along General Patton. In fact, this is Omar Bradley is General Patton's boss. And then so they worked together in the European front. So it'll be interesting to read his. I have not read anything about General Bradley in many, many, many years, but it was sitting there and I got it for $1, so why not? All right, but you guys are here for the movies, so let's do that. I only found two. Only found two movies. It was Deader Than a Desert, but I did get something pretty good. First off, I found this Factory Sealed. It's a movie called They Call Me Jig. Jig. I don't know. It's from Uncorked. It's Factory Sealed. It says here a superhero like no other. So this is going to be some sort of superhero movie. Never heard of it, but we'll go ahead and give it a whirl. Next, we got an ISC movie. That's right, boys and girls. Well, we got one. It's an ISC movie, but it's actually like one of their arms, like ISC Films, and then they have ISC Midnight, and then they have another one where they do documentaries and such, and that is called Sundance Selects. So I found this called Beyond the Edge, and this is Sir Edmund Hillary's journey to the summit of Everest. So this is a story about and his Sherpa who guided him up there. So yeah, I was surprised to see this, but it came out from the library, so it's a library movie. But very cool to get another IFC film. I have It's been a long time since I've gotten one. So Beyond the Edge. Now, normally that's where it would wrap up for today because that's all I got, right? Well, no. As a matter of fact, sitting on our door when we got home, we got our latest from Hamilton book. That's right. We were watching Bones, our one of the two most famous boutique ballers out there. And we're watching, between watching Bones and watching our buddy Al Lucar talk about boutique label stuff, we went over to Hamilton Book to see if there's any goodies, and there were. So we'll go ahead and open this puppy up and see what we got from Hamilton Book. I thought it was pretty fun, actually. I was a little surprised to see exactly how few there were. I mean, they had a lot of stuff there, of course, but they had a lot of movies, but not the cool selection. See, more bottom of the bucket type of stuff. It was a little bit different. But I do know one thing. I do know that people were shopping it because a lot of those movies I mentioned, they got bought. So here we got a few things. Ta-da! All right. I picked up some cool stuff here. I picked up some fun stuff. I got a pair of ISC movies. One is very. I think the distributor is. I'm not sure who the distributor is, but I do know it's not the ISC Midnight, but it is released by ISC Midnight. I'll explain that when I get to it. All right, just putting the stuff in order. All right, you guys gonna laugh at this? All right, so here we go. So, one thing I noticed that the Hamilton Book has started to do, and I was surprised to see it, and I was like, holy crow. And not only did I surprised to see it, but I went ahead and got a couple. But Hamilton Books has started selling Hallmark movies. That's right, boys and girls. If you know me and the Cheetah, we do like our Hallmark movies. And so we found two that we decided to pick up. The first one is Wedding at Graceland with Kelly Pickler and Wes Brown. Kelly Pickler, as you know, was an American Idol contestant. I think she finished fourth her year. And she has become a very popular performer. It was sad. I think it was about 18 months ago, maybe a little less. Unfortunately, she lost her husband to suicide. He committed suicide at their home with her there. Very sad. But she's been making a few Hallmark movies, and Summer in Graceland is one of them. Number two, we have one called Love on Iceland. Now I've never heard. Notice that they're not Christmas movies. Did you notice that? They're not Christmas movies. They're just year-round movies. And see, this movie has Caitlin Doubleday and Colin Donnell, and wow, that's it. This is going to be a completely fresh-faced cast for me. I've never heard any of these actors in this movie, and that's sort of refreshing, actually. And speaking of Hallmark films, our friend Crystal Lowe, who we've had on 8 Questions with a couple of times. She is now in the middle of pre-production for her first movie that she'll be directing for the Hallmark Channel. That's coming up. She is getting ready for that, and we're really excited for her. We don't know what kind of movie it's going to be because obviously she can't tell it. She can't really tell anything. Not well, at least not until they start filming anyway. But she's not allowed to say anything quite yet. But I'm sure that once filming happens, she should be able to post up some onset pictures of how her movie's going. Hopefully, but during post production, we'll be able to talk to her about the movie and have her come on and talk about her experience. Either that, or we'll wait for the movie to come out and then have her back on. Either way, we're going to be talking to her about her experience directing her first film for Hallmark. All right, so now that everything's all Hallmark, don't worry. Next up, I got a Blu-ray version of Catwoman Hunted. So that was cool to see, sitting in there. So I don't have this, so I picked that up. And knowing me as you do with TV shows, I found a series for dirt cheap at Hamilton. They're very good for TV series. If you're looking for just, to start collecting series, like I said, Hallmark is great. There's a lot of selection. You can start either at the $5 and below selection or even slightly higher, but they have a lot of cool stuff. I've gotten a lot of interesting TV series from them, including, and I believe they're still out there, including 3 seasons of The Twilight Zone. Now, I wish they would come up with the other 2, but that's the wonderful thing about the Hamilton book is they keep you coming because you don't know what's going to show up. You don't know when. You don't know what or when or how much. So I know that the first time they did Twilight Zone, it was sold out like that. We had to wait until they got restocked, and then we got 3 of the 5 seasons. But this one, I picked up the first season of a show called The Invisible Man. This only ran for 2 years, so the chances of me finding the second one are pretty good. I mean, you hope that a Hamilton book will get the second one, so you can get a complete series. But if not, at least you got a starter, right? You can keep your eye out for the second season. And we were talking about that today, and it does seem like I said, it seems like more and more people are donating not only just movies, but they're donating their TV collection as well. So this is one of the reasons why I've been able to really been fortunate this year as far as finding TV shows at the library. So this is The Invisible Man. I heard it was a lot of fun, and this is the I think this is, well, I want to say this is the Sony. No, Universal. This is from Universal. All right. So we already saw one IFC movie, so I got my centerpiece for this update is right here in my hand. So I got 3 new IFC films. One I mentioned is I don't know where it got distributed. This might be Canadian distributor, or this could be I'm not sure what it is. I do know it was distributed by IFC Midnight, and Jason from Horrific Nightmares JM. Jason, I got this because Jason said he liked it, and I got Demonic. And this is directed by Neil Blomkamp. So yeah, Jason had mentioned that he saw it. He said he's still wrestling with it. What that means when he's saying he's still wrestling with it, that means it's a good movie. The last time he said that to me was when we were talking about Relic. He said Relic fucked him up. He was thinking about that movie quite a bit. I still do. Yeah. So he said this is one that's the same thing. So I know I heard mixed reviews about this, but I can't wait to take a look at it. Neil Blomkamp directed Elysium, and he also directed District 9. And so, Dynamic. Next up, I got a remake. This movie came out in the 50s. It was called I Sell the Dead. and it actually starred one of the inspirations for my channel's name, Richard Boone, was in I Sell the Dead. Well, they remade it for IFC right here. This remake stars Don McMonahan, Larry Fessenden, Angus Grimm, and Hellboy himself, Ron Perlman. So what a hell of a cast! This actually might have been Angus Grimm's last movie before he passed. And except it also has Ron Perlman right there, also known as Hellboy, or Hannibal Chow, to those who are really in the know. If you know who Hannibal Chow is, drop a comment down below and let me know. Let me know what movie that we saw Hannibal Chow in. So I was really excited about this right here to get this. I do have the original. I have the one with Richard Boone. I want to say I got it also from Hamilton Book, actually. So I Sell the Dead. And then the last one I got, I remember this at I want to say I saw this at a family video. I think I did. I think I saw it there, and then when I went to go back to get it, it was gone. I think that's what it was. I saw it there. It wasn't ready for sale yet, and then the store got closed. That's what happened. It wasn't for sale, but then they got the notice that they were selling. You know, the stores were closing. When I went back to get this movie, it was gone. And this is a very charming movie that I heard, and it's called Baby Teeth. And yeah, this is from IFC proper, IFC Films proper. This is not a horror film; it's a drama, but it is IFC. And like I said, you know, when you get a chance to get it, do so. So I don't know. I hope this is entertaining. I've gone 17 minutes. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully by next week things will be back up to somewhat normal. And we'll figure out we're gonna find out what's going on with the bookstore. And who knows? I might have a little bit of money next week. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. And I hope you enjoyed the pickups. I did. I can't wait to see I Sell the Dead remake. It looks outstanding. All right, thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Peace.